So it's getting to that time of year when new drivers are going to start flooding the market. We'll see releases from Callaway, we'll see them from Ping, we'll see them from TaylorMade. There'll be loads of new drivers coming out. And I've been quite fortunate this year to test quite a lot of drivers. But what I wanted to do was give you the top 3 that I've tested this year before we see craziness set in. So let's get stuck into the top 3 drivers that I've tried this year. So we've been very fortunate this year. We've started doing more tech reviews and the companies have sent us drivers for us to try, review and give you guys our opinion to help you make better buying decisions. Overall, I've been pretty impressed with what I've seen this year. I think with drivers though, they're on their limits. So we're not seeing anything unbelievable. I think a lot of the marketing claims that we saw over the past few years now are starting to get watered down and people are getting more aware of what's coming out. But that being said, we have seen some very good contenders and I think you'll be quite shocked by the list that I've compiled. So, with no further ado, in at number 3, we have this bad boy, the Callaway Epic Speed. And actually this driver here has a longer shaft in it. Now, I started using this driver in around about January, February this year. And the reason I'd done it, I was trying to look for a little bit more distance, and the shaft itself is actually 46 inches long, so it's an inch longer than standard. Normally we're seeing that 45 is the standard length of driver. This one being an inch longer should theoretically help me get some club head speed. So I did a review of it where I was trying to see how far I could hit it, what my actual distance was that it was going, and I was seeing that I was getting a little bit more distance. Let's just hop into the simulator though, because it's made the top 3 but it's no longer in my bag, and there's a few reasons for that. Let's head there now and hit a few. Even just placing that back in behind the golf ball, I feel like I'm going to smash it straight away. Just having that longer shaft in definitely gives me that feeling of the long drive. Just the head itself, the way it sits behind the golf ball, I just feel like I can just swing at it and just smash it. Oh, that felt so good. Not bad for a first swing. Not the numbers I was used to on that first one there. That felt more like what we were used to. A bit more zip in that one. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Over 300, 285 carry. A bit spinny those last two. 2 swings in, 285 carry and not really buttoned it yet. That's why I think I had so much love for this driver. I think definitely that extra length always helped me get that few extra yards there, even on a slightly poorer one. A little bit toey. Not used to that length. I think even that extra inch on the shaft straight away, it takes some little bit of adjustment to try and find that centered spot when you've been used to a normal length driver, as it were. That felt more like it. That's a longer one, definitely. Over that 300 yard mark again. Getting those a little bit spinny. I think that's that slightly off-centered strike, not being used to the length of that shaft there. And I think that's why I did like this driver so much. Even if you were misstriking it ever so slightly, it had that forgiveness element in it, but it also had that element of distance because of the extra length in the shaft there. But there was a problem with it, and the reason why it didn't stay in the bag was if I got to a course and I was playing and I was a little bit uncertain of a drive, I always felt it was hard to hit a sort of 80% drive. Everything I did with this driver always felt that it had to be just full out, gotta smash it, stand up, give it a good swing, as where if you wanted to hit the little fairway, find a little fade down there. I just didn't feel I could do that with this driver. So there we have it, the Epic Speed. It was good, found me a bit more distance, a bit more club head speed, but never felt like I could hit that little fairway finder shot with it. Now, moving forwards, we will see a new Callaway family come out. Will it stick to Epic though? Because we're seeing at the moment it's going Epic, Rogue, Epic, Rogue. Will we see that they change the name totally? Will we see something completely different from Callaway? Who knows, but we will be finding out pretty soon, so make sure you stay tuned to the channel to find out. Now, on to driver number 2, which actually I'm going to be giving away. So the second driver in my top 3 of the year might be a little bit of a curveball because it comes from a company that we don't see splashed over the headlines about driver releases, getting massive anticipation when they're coming out. And that driver is this one, the Inesis 500. Now, we did a review on this one earlier on in the year and I was massively impressed. Let's go to the studio and find out why this driver that only costs £149 from Decathlon, a sports store, impressed me so much. So the Inesis, obviously this one isn't built for me. It's a regular shaft with a HL head on it, high launch, and when you do get it in behind the golf ball, it's got that sort of toed look in about it. So when we originally reviewed this and had a look at it, it was designed to be for that player who's maybe got the big slice, maybe getting into the driver market. And I think that's what really impressed me, that, you know, it had a good quality shaft in it actually behind the golf ball, although it was aimed at that higher handicapper beginner driver. It didn't look too bad, and even when I sort of ease off on a few swings and just hit a few, it still was going a decent distance and did what it said on the tin. Like there, lovely strike, dead straight down the line. That shot there is a great example. I've swung it, you know, 14 miles an hour less. So I only just got into the 100 mile an hour mark, 101, and it still managed to carry 238 yards, 251 total. It's gone straight down the middle from a brand that we don't really associate with golf that much because it's coming out of the Decathlon store. I mean, that's just a great drive. Straight down the middle, nearly down the middle. 260 yards, 107 club head speed. And it's doing what it says on the tin, it's keeping it straight, and that's what really impressed me about this driver. And I think that price point element as well was a huge factor. £149 for one of these, for someone who's maybe getting into the game and doesn't want to go out and spend that £300, £400, £500 on a driver, but they want something that looks good and performs. It was one that definitely did what it said, and it ticked all those boxes. Remember as well, stay tuned to the end of this video because I'm going to give this driver, this one that I'm hitting now, I'm going to send it out to one of you subscribers. If you're not subscribed, you're going to have to hit that button. Even that, I felt that was going to go miles right, and it's straight down there. Do you know what? I might have to put this in my bag. 260 yards, pretty straight down there. The dispersion on those three is so tight. It's the right driver, beautiful looking thing, but yeah, stay tuned. Let's take a look at what number 1 is, and then I'm going to tell you how you can win this driver. Time for number 1 driver. What was it? Comment down below. Do you have an idea already as to what you think that driver might be? So, the number 1 driver currently actually isn't in my golf bag because I've been testing a few other drivers, but after hitting it, I think I'm going to have to put it back in the bag because all the good memories have come flooding back to me, and that driver is the Cobra LTDX. So when I actually reviewed the LTDX for the first time, it was the first Cobra driver I'd ever reviewed, and also probably the first Cobra driver that I'd used in my golfing career. I've never actually owned a Cobra driver before this. I'd hit the odd shot with the F9 and then even the rad speed, I'd use that a little bit, but never really gone over to the Cobra driver. And I think even in the review, if you want to click up above and watch that, I alluded to the fact that there was a lot of hype around these drivers, and was it actually deserved? Did the Cobra brand as a driver brand actually deserve all the praise it was getting? Because for a long time we saw that Cobra wasn't really a factor in the driver market, but after F9 and then coming all the way up to the LTDX, I definitely think that they deserve their place in the driver market. We're just going to head over to the studio and actually hit a few because it is something that really impressed me, this driver. Let's see how it goes when we hit a few. So the Cobra is taking the one spot. For me, when you actually get it in behind the golf ball, having it been the first time I'd tested one when testing this, I was really pleasantly surprised about how it looked behind the golf ball. I've seen them in the shops, I've seen them in like my clients' bags, but I've never really actually spent any time hitting one or having a look at them properly. And actually putting it in behind, it looks so good. That sort of subtle look about them. I know the F9s that we alluded to in the original review were bold, they were flashy, and I think that might have put off some people as well. I think with the LTDX, we would see that it would tick a lot of boxes. It's got that sort of sporty look about it with that all the carbon, and then just a few flashes of colour, not bold and bright and in your face. And I think that's probably got even more people into that Cobra camp because, like I say, we didn't see loads of people in Cobra drivers for a long time as well. Now I would say they are a staple of the driver market. Let's just hit one because it was all about the feel from what I remember with this driver. Oh, that will do. Turning a little bit, but even there, 317 yards. For me, like I say, it was all about that forging on the face. It's got the CNC milled face and it's got the hot face. And I was intrigued as to whether you would actually feel anything through there, or was it just a little bit of marketing? After hitting that first one, I don't think it was marketing. Oh, that's good. That is good. That's so long. I've not actually had this driver in the bag now for, I think maybe 2 months. After going down to Titleist, I was fit for theirs. And I sort of wanted to try it out a little bit more. This was my current driver and the Titleist was very much neck on neck. But do you know what? After hitting this for these couple of shots, I think I'm going to play with this till the end of the season, till the end of the year, till we start to see all the new drivers from the other manufacturers coming out and see if this actually will stand its own. Oh, I think that one's just settled it. Go on, end on a high, on the line, or even in the hole. Oh, just shy of the green at 325, but 315 feels so good. It looks great, sounds great. It's definitely going back in the bag that for a few more months because it's the one. That's why it's number one. That is why it's number one. I'm super excited to see what they bring out in the next couple of years because I think, like I say, they've really cemented their position in the driver space now as one of the top drivers that should be viewed when trying new drivers. So excited to see what they bring, and be interesting to see after hitting this again a couple of times and really finding that love again for it, will all the new models that are coming out, will they be able to actually knock this one off? Because I think I'm going to stick with this now. Even if I'm testing other drivers, I'm going to just have this as my playing driver if I'm playing socially or I'm playing around, whether it be in the Red Series or anything like that. I'm going to make sure that this driver stays in my bag for the future. So how are you going to win this Inesis 500 driver? Well, all you need to do is be a subscriber to the channel. Hit the little subscribe button down there. There's lots of you who watch who aren't subscribed. Simple, just click it. You're not going to miss out on any future content. Loads of driver reviews coming, loads of course logs, and we've also got loads of giveaways coming through the month of December for Christmas. So make sure you subscribe so you're not missing any of those. Also, make sure you go and follow me over on my Instagram, and also drop a comment down below which has been your favourite driver review of the year. Just as well, on a side note, you'll only ever be contacted by my account, Matt Fryer. It won't be a WhatsApp one or a Telegram because there is lots of those messages going around. So don't be fooled into contacting anyone, please. It will come directly from me for that giveaway, and I'll announce it in the middle of December. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed that video of the top 3 drivers that I have tested this year. Plenty of reviews coming all through 2023 and the rest of this year. So make sure you've hit that subscribe button, be in a chance to win that driver, and I'll see you very soon in another video.